7:15. It is the most anticipated public stock offering since Google in 2004. Facebook coming on the market Friday worth an estimated $100 billion. Investors of all ages and all backgrounds are interested in Facebook. Company's come a long way, and so has its creator and founder, Mark Zuckerberg. Here's a clip from an interview in 2006, 2 years after launching Facebook, from his Harvard dorm room after he was asked how his company started.
I was a sophomore at Harvard, and we needed to, I guess, I've never really been asked how the company was started before.
It's obviously before the movie. So the Facebook IPO comes on the market. Initial public offering on Friday. Is it a good buy? Joe Krier, president of Krier Wealth Management, is here. Joe, there are a lot of people who think this is the ticket to instant wealth. Well,
I wouldn't be so quick to jump on that. You know, IPOs or initial public offerings can go a lot of different ways, and we've seen Pandora fall on its face this year. Groupon hasn't done so well, and you know, just different angles coming in on this thing are just some are doing well.
Let me give you a second here because we got to change out your mic. It fell down there. You know, one of the things is if you watch, you know, the projected IPO price, it has virtually changed ever since Facebook came out and said that they were going to go ahead and make this initial public offering. But the question that people go is, how do I get my hands on it? You know, how's it going to be doled out? It's not such an easy get from the get-go.
Correct. You know, even though there's 400 million shares or so out there that are being distributed, it's going to about 22 brokerage firms that are kind of doling it out to their best clients, you know, and if you're JP Morgan, you're more likely to give it to a large mutual fund who's doing, you know, billions of dollars of business with you than someone who's got a $25,000 investment account.
So basically there's some politics that come into play as to who gets it, how they're exactly doled out. So what happens Friday when the stock starts trading on the exchange?
Well, the first thing that goes on is a market maker on the exchange kind of stands there and checks what the demand is, and it's anticipated that demand will be so great the people that get the stock before it starts trading will pay probably about $38 a share, but the first public trade could be double that, you know, based on previous history, and at that point it's a roller coaster ride. And if you want to get on it, it's going to be much like jumping on a moving roller coaster, at least for Friday.
So from first base, there's a little bit of hysteria, but if you're a smart investor, what you're saying is, look, this is all tied to what happens with growth and advertising revenue and things like that, so be prudent?
Certainly, you know, and the price of an investment in the short term is affected by hysteria and emotion and ego and all those things. Over the long term, it's about earnings and growth. And we've seen plenty of companies that have stellar earnings right now. For instance, we're in the first market correction of 2012, and everybody's paranoid about Europe imploding, so prices are coming down while earnings are going up. Eventually, that should correct itself.
What do you think is the best thing to come out of this Facebook IPO?
Well, you know, it's new blood in the markets, you know, and the markets have been kind of suppressed by global politics and a slow economy, and new blood in the market can be the kind of thing that gets things going. There's going to be a huge amount of money flowing around this, and money in motion is what makes things work both on Wall Street and on Main Street.
Well, that money in motion may not move toward me, but to Mark Zuckerberg, he is going to become one of the world's youngest billionaires at what, 28 years old?
28 years old, and he should be worth $28 billion by Friday morning, and then every time that stock goes up $1, he adds another billion or so to his bank account.
And the people who work at Facebook stand to, you know, reap a whirlwind here too.
Certainly, yeah. He's doling out plenty of shares there to the people that have helped him build the company, including Microsoft, who made a large investment years ago, and a number of other players that have helped inch this thing along through the years.
What do you see for Facebook's future? I mean, 900 million users now and growing.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing there is advertising. You know, there's a balance, as you and I were talking about off camera. You don't want to put too much advertising in there to alienate the users. However, Fifth Avenue is looking at this, and things that people would be offended if you ask them, they're willingly volunteering on Facebook, so they know about this, the Facebook consumer, like no one else, and that makes it a lot easier to target advertising.
Always some good advice.